Good morning, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Monday, June 2nd, 2025. I hope everybody's doing well. It's sunny here in eastern Kentucky, but the criminals never sleep. But I'm so grateful for some people who have been emailing me with some of their evidence. Now, I have to warn you that I can't always open your evidence on my laptop. I sometimes have to open it on my phone because my laptop has been totally sabotaged by the criminals. It doesn't matter that I've backed up to an external hard drive, that I've deleted so much stuff, condensed. It doesn't matter. They've destroyed the fan internally, the memory, the systems, etc. So whatever they've done, I can't even figure it out. But obviously, you all know about the creepy voice. And the creepy voice is likely also taking up space on my laptop because it's always interfering with my live stream. So it's done something. It's put some kind of software on my laptop or through the internet or the Wi-Fi. I can't figure it out. I don't really care. It's just that it's there, and it's an invasion of my privacy, your privacy, and hacking a YouTube channel. And this is for educational purposes only. And I have sent reports to YouTube about this creepy voice. I have never received a response back about the creepy voice, which is third-party interference. Actually, that's what Verizon calls it, third-party interference. I call it hacking. Okay. So anyway, welcome newcomers. Welcome to the channel. This week, or within the last week, we got 113 new subscribers. So welcome. I will say that I'm almost hoping that you're not targeted, but if you are a targeted person or think that you are or know somebody that you are, you're in the right place. I'm targeted. I've been targeted at least a minimum since 2012. I think back to 2009. I know that we're tracked from birth because, you know, these criminals, the Illuminati, dull, D-U-L-L, they are dull, boring people. You know, these are the perverts of the spectrum here, you know, the ones that go to these lodges and cults, and you know, they've got to walk around naked and do weird bizarre rituals and talk about their tongue being taken out, all this weird medieval stuff. I mean, we're in 2025, like, let's get with the times here. So anyway, anybody can be targeted. I've created a lot of videos on the types of people who are targeted. And more recently, somebody sent me a video, and you know, I received so many videos. Some of them I watch through, some of them I only watch partially, some of them I only watch at the point that the person says to listen to. I have too much going on here. I've got, you know, 50 plus animals, more than 50 animals here, between cats and chickens and guineas. And of course, the occasional stray dog or cat or criminals that are on the property. So I'm very busy here. I spend 4 to 5 hours of my everyday taking care of, cleaning up after animals, feeding animals, vacuuming animals, and cleaning chicken coops. Okay, so just to give you a heads up on that. Also, I want to say thank you so much to 2 people that donated. One through the Cash App. Thank you so much. I automatically transfer it to the cat's checking account so that it can cover cat food. And then the other individual who ordered through Chewy.com. Chewy.com is a partner of Freya's Cat Rescue, my 501c3 nonprofit, from New Jersey to Kentucky. And we have a wish list, and you can purchase items from our wish list, and Chewy already has our mailing address and will automatically send it to us. And I am so grateful for the person that donated the flea stuff for the cats, because this is the time of the year when fleas, especially Zoomy, who's outside a lot, needs to be get his little flea and tick medicine, his little ointment. And the wipes and the greenies, I call them, I tell the cats that these are your breath mints, because they're greeny and they're good for their stomach and their breath. You know, cats sometimes are eating like fishy kinds of foods and stuff. And yes, I give my cats sardines, and I give them tuna fish sometimes as a special treat. The oil is good for their fur balls and stuff like that. So thank you so much. I received it today, by the way, this morning. Much, much appreciated. So now let's back to being targeted. Who's the target? Me, you, everyone. Why? Lands. They want your property, especially if you're a woman, you got divorced, you bought your ex-husband out of the house, or you got it just because you've been slaving over a hot stove and taking care of your 2 or 3 or 4 kids while not being gainfully employed outside of the home. I just watched a video the other day, and I did this actually back in the day to prove to my ex-husband how much I would be earning if I were paid for all of the tasks that I did at home, and that my employment as a corporate human resources manager in charge of the entire U.S. operation, the 501c3, the 5,500 filings, the disability and all the liability, the hiring and firing back in New York City, that I would go back to my New York City job because it was easier than staying home and taking care of all of my chores and kiddos. Yes, exactly. So anyway, this man named Steve, he's a former teacher. He now has a financial channel, and I forget his name or the channel name. I just scroll, and he's a really sweet man. What he did is a video yesterday on the tasks of a stay-at-home mom that include a cleaner, a babysitter, laundry, food preparation, etc. It came out to $178,000 a year. If you were to pay somebody to perform all of those tasks every day, it would be $178,000 for all you moms out there that do all of these tasks. And I was one of them too. I was one of them, and I also worked full time, back and forth to New York City. So yes, so you are valuable. So land, men, women, intellectual property. They want your intellectual property. They want to know what you think. They want to know what you create, because these losers cannot create for themselves, so they have to steal from other people, like they did with my father. I found out recently that my father would receive threatening phone calls to not patent his inventions. Yes, threatening phone calls. He would receive threatening phone calls to not patent his inventions. And my father worked for IBM in the International Research Department. He worked with the international research scientists, and back in the day, he drew by hand. There was no CAD, there was no Word, there was no drawing software. He drew all of the prototype designs by hand for the research scientists, and he did not always draw them exactly the way the scientists had invented them to be. My father would tweak them a little bit and made them better. He improved upon them. So all of those research scientists were like, wow, who is this guy? I find out now my father had an IQ of between 162 and 168, and my stepmom, his second wife, I believe, I don't know, some people say it's his third wife, his second wife, her IQ was 200. So she was like way smarter than my father, and she was taken out by IBM too. Yes, they caused her to have brain damage, and then she lost her eyesight. It's just such a typical Illuminati plan, especially when back then they didn't even have flip phones. They had a landline, those rotary phones, one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy, rotary phones, no Wi-Fi, no internet, none of that. But she developed brain cancer anyway. And unfortunately, and she was a lovely woman, my stepmom, Marilyn, thinking about you, Marilyn, up there. I'm sure you're dancing around there in heaven with my dad. But yeah, so they would threaten my father for his intellectual property. They go after the kids, because guess what? My father was really smart, and his wife was really smarter than him. So what do? They go after the kids of those parents, right? And then my mother was psychic. Okay, my mother was not educated and going to what do you call it, beyond high school, but my mother was socially brilliant. She was socially brilliant. She was absolutely beautiful, psychic. She knew what was going on in the world with people around her, and she would predict things. So yes, so that was my mother and that was my father. So what do? They go after the kids of those parents. Yeah. So they go after the kids of those parents that may have the qualities and traits and the intellect of those two parents. So yes, they targeted my brother, my stepbrother, and me, and my stepmom, Marilyn. So yeah, so maybe it does run in families. They watch you from birth because they know they intercept you, sabotage your destiny as you're on your path. And I have so much email from you guys. I don't know how long this is going to be. So animals, they target animals. Why? Why do they target animals? Because you love them. You nurture them. They bring you joy. So these criminals, oh, let's get rid of those creatures. And I'm going to show you some photos here soon of not my animals, not my cats, of somebody's dog. So welcome, newcomers, again. And this is obviously going to turn into one of my rants, so be prepared. So now I have an email from a woman who has provided 2 or 3 testimonies so far. We're going to just call her CP. This woman is brilliant, by the way. She is brilliant. We're approximately the same. Approximately. Well, no, she's younger than me. Approximately the same age. She's younger than me, but she is so astute with her evidence. Now, my evidence is a little different. I'm not the technologically adept person like she is. And what she did is she has photos of... She has photos... Wait, let me get it. She has photos of this. Not the water droplets. She has photos of this. And I'm going to show you what to look for on your cameras. I'm going to show you what to look for and what to listen for on your cameras. And I'm not going to say these words, okay? They can temporarily or permanently disable anybody. And don't let anybody tell you that they don't exist. There are patents going back 50 years on these devices, okay? All right. But remember that testimony, that congressional testimony, where, I don't know if it was one of the senators or Congress people, somebody is saying, oh, well, what's unique about these devices is there's no entry or exit wound. You cannot detect the entry or exit point. Yes, you cannot. It's not like, when you fire a firearm and, the forensic team comes and looks for the blood spatter patterns or where the bullet may have exited, entered, what kind it was, how it exploded, the residue that's left behind. Oh, no, there's none of that. You can forget that forensics. This is a different type of forensics. But these losers, these criminals, they're very careless. They don't realize how much people are collecting on their cameras. And CP, I'm going to show you what she has collected on her cameras, okay? So let me just read what she says. She says, here's a photo of dew, direct line to the eye. You can use this if you want. If opened up, you can see it looks like It's fog, F-O-G, like a little fog, but it's a line of fog. It's not, she says, I'm not in my kitchen turning the corner to the microwave, and it's a perfectly straight fog look. It's going directly into my eye. And let me open it up for you. I have a bigger picture, by the way. This is the same woman who, on my video, this one here, this woman, CP, she was very interested in this video because it has been her experience that when these trespassers come like this, that usually right before they leave, something else is going on in the background. There's a handler, somebody with binoculars, somebody with an energy device, we're going to call it a device, and lo and behold, she slowed down the video as this person is backing out my gate, and from the right-hand side, that line of fog was directed at me. So as I am distracted, walking down my driveway, photographing this guy who's going especially slow, this was all planned. And let me see if I can pull it up here and fast forward to that point. It's approximately at the 4 minute mark. Let me just talk over this commercial here, this advertisement here, this Lumi deodorant commercial here. So let me fast forward here to, it was around 4.16. So I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to go to my settings, and just so that you know, this is, you can do this too. You click on the little gear. You click on the little gear here, and then it says playback speed. I'm on normal. But if you go down to here, it gets really slow. Okay, it gets really, really slow. And I'm at 4:06. What you'll see is on the right-hand side here, it looks like a little cloud or a fog comes out of the right-hand side at 4:16. I'm on 4:06. And that was a directed energy device pointed at me. It's coming up. I'm at 4:10, 11, 12. $15. It just, oh, it was just there. It was just right here. I was moving my phone here. Wait. You're going to see it right here. You're going to see it right here. It comes from the right-hand side. It's a puff, a fog. There it goes. Did you see it? It just came from the right. So now I'm going to show you what she has captured on her camera. And thank you so much, CP. We all need to do this and collect this type of evidence. Okay, so let me go back to her email. So CP says, good morning. Nope, it did not hurt at all. And I didn't even know it happened until viewing the footage afterwards. They give themselves away. For me, it's often V2K that will prompt me to slow down the video. Just like the walking cane trespasser on my property. She says, my thought was, what is waiting for you while you are in your driveway and almost out? It's at that point the dew flies by. These are the opportunities for us to really think, what is the big picture here? The eye shot was taken here in South Carolina. This was filmed on an iPhone 7 SE. Now, I have a more up-to-date iPhone, but it doesn't take much at all to catch this stuff. I think you mentioned your phone is older, and it caught that. And others have seen things. It's all about the shutter speed on the camera and slowing it way down to see after the video is taken. Anyway, I recommend anyone with an iPhone to keep the phone setting on live. I sometimes turn it off because it takes up more space on the phone, but I will be keeping it on live from now on. Keep it on live. It's a little video clip that can be sent to other iPhones. If the finger is pressed on it and held, the entirety of the live is shown. She says, regarding my eye and the right side of my head and pain, I'm constantly asked, how does your eye feel when it's hurting? This is her V2K. How does your eye feel? So it's in my right eye, the one that was hit. It will get sharp pain to it. It feels like it looks like it should feel, like a sharp poke in the eye. Effing crazier is, the photo is well over a year old, and by now, and it continues to this day, it's constantly in circulation to be aimed there. I feel this daily. There's also what looks like a haze that occasionally has gone over my eyes in the morning when I wake and read my phone. Well, that happens to me too. The way I know it's not natural, it happens in Pennsylvania. She says, I moved to South Carolina in 2021. First time was a relatively long time ago. I say 5 minutes of, again, what looks like waves of fog going over both eyes. So at age 47 in Pennsylvania with this eye stuff, there are still no cataracts, not even now at age 51. Okay, so you're much younger than me. And it isn't steady. It moves in my field of vision. This occurrence has been rare, 2 to 3 times in PA and only twice here in South Carolina. And it's all virtual, that stuff. My brain is interpreting something nefarious, all AI generated. Not one doubt, and always upon waking. My right ear in the photo, my right ear now, is the one that feels or senses the hits. I feel the pressure and hear the click, 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 ever so gently. The fray effect? Microwaves? For sure. This is a smack dab beam to the head and the ear. I can sense it. Sitting even in my blank's house, I get the above. If I go back to PA, I get this. It takes a minute though, sometimes a day if I'm not home. Doesn't happen at the doctor, not in stores, so it would seem it's manually done at close range. You know what I think it is too? I believe that there are some particles that are inside of our body that gravitate to the eye, that may cover the eye, and that the eye is overly stimulated by these devices because of these particles. It seems we have way too much in common. Between moving down south from the north in 2021, we brought this under a shit ton of lies and manipulation, to our pets being, I can't use the word, and unalived, to having mafia in our lives, to the flipping dildo shiat, unreal. And now the guns firing closer here. One thing I'm glad you don't have is V2K. They are gnarly, disgusting pedos. V2K and remote neural monitoring are hand in hand. They hear all, see all, and act on what we think and see. So grandkids, yep, they're watching babies. If I'm speaking with a teammate of theirs, as in a perp, they're watching their own team. They're all being surveilled one way or another. It's not just us. Impossible. They're not cutting things to save face. You know how much effort that'd take? They have more going on than that at one time. The latest, here is my pup. Not the one that was burned. This one is in my photo being zapped straight to the collar here in South Carolina about a year ago. And then they've gone and shaved the photo, perfect square on the back of his neck. They grabbed his collar, had shears to him. He was sickly, lethargic last night, but okay this morning. His coat is beautiful and silky now, but it's rough to the touch yet again. They are more disgusting than anything, and yes, inhuman. To dominate babies and pets? Out of control. How out of control one must be. How much does this beg for attention? How big of a threat is a baby, a dog, a cat, or two that has no claws and it's unalived, sick and pathetic? They can't shove a gun in our faces. No. They can only hide and do their psyops to attempt to save face using devices while they play the good old boys and girls of the community stalkers. Well, let's get on to the photos. So, you will not believe this image. This is unbelievable. Let me show you. And again, I'm showing you my laptop screen. I've got shadows and reflections here. Okay. This is the direct due line to her dog. That's the dog. See, that's the dog sitting there. That's the dog's head, the dog's nose, the dog's little head there, the dog's arm, dog's body. And look at what they did here. Zapping the puppy. Zapping the pup. And this is the pup's fur. I'm going to have to increase it so that you can see what they did. They've done this to my cats too, by the way. You can see how nice the fur is. It won't enlarge anymore. Okay, so that's her puppy. And now my screen is frozen. Oh, how nice. Yeah, they don't want you to see this stuff. Okay, so that is one. She just sent me photos to go with the... Okay, I've got that already. Okay, got it. I've got that already. Now... let me see what else I have from this woman, because then we're going to go on to another person. Okay, yeah, I've got... Okay, so here is due to her wrist. And this is a little difficult to see because it's cut off, but right here. So here's her wrist, and it's right here. They sliced her. Right there. Same woman. And let's go on to the next one. This is her yard. Okay, I have sent these one by one. They're too big in files. Here you can see my yard being sprayed. It's going back and forth in a live photo on my phone. It's very hard to take clips of this video of itself because it goes so fast, it goes so quickly. I was told today that somebody on Quora, that the below is what it is. It is a particle beam assembly. While the actual particle beams are invisible to the naked eye, the material loaded on the beams are not. All that white stuff, open it up. It's not bread for the birds. It's not weeds. It sank into the grass quickly. So wait till you see this photo. And I'm sliding off my chair here. One second. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and then I'll open it up for you guys. Okay, so here's her grass, newly cut grass. All that white stuff is sinking into the grass. You can't pick it up. And here, you see that? That is the energy. Sort of like what you saw with that the red truck that trespassed my property the other day. As they're exiting, it comes out of the right side. Well, here it is too, right here. And that on her grass, that is falling particles from these devices. If this is happening to you, if you capture this, please let me know. We've got so much evidence. We've got so much evidence. We have so much evidence. We have so much evidence. Okay, so what she said about my video is you will be able to see this at 4:16. This is what shot towards you as he sat there in his vehicle. I always try to tell people, slow the videos down. It reveals so much more than you ever think. All of this is faster than the naked eye. Most times, even in a video, I take my finger and slowly scrub, going forward and backward, slowing it down. While doing so, I look at the entire video. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's how I found two people on my hill here. The cloaked people wearing headlamps. That's exactly how I saw there were two people on my property here wearing headlamps at like 4 o'clock in the morning. This allows us to see what flies by with us not seeing it. So anyway, it's energy weapon, she says. She says, I hate this shit. I'm so flipping over this BS. I know you are too. It's endless and heightened. It seems 'tis the season. I thought it was important to send. Let me know if you want to see what to look for in very similar shapes. Okay, so that's that video on those energy weapons. But now, these are the visuals. Now, we've got someone here, JP. So that was CP, a female. This is JP, a male. So let's not get them confused, okay? JP is the male. CP is the female. And JP, thank you also for the donation for the kitty cats. And here is, let me know if you hear this frequency. Okay, I'm gonna have to pick this up on my phone because it won't open up on my laptop. And this is what he says. JP, not CP, says this. Microwave noises. I asked him if he hears the noises outside or inside. He says, that's a good question. My security cameras pick up those high-pitched frequencies. I don't hear them when I'm outside next to my cameras. It's coming from a house. I have been reporting to my HOA with no response. Hispanic males racing their cars and motorcycles up and down the street. Glendale police say, oh, you're in a gated community. Take it up with the HOA. The HOA says, oh, call the police. I tell them what the police said about being in a gated community. So what I did is I put up aluminum foil on my bathroom window to keep the sun out this morning. I didn't have the light on, and I saw a bunch of tiny little holes in the aluminum foil. I thought maybe the wind, but no, I put duct tape over the aluminum foil. Going to take pictures tomorrow, going to send you more of the frequency noises. So I have heard that from other targeted people with the aluminum foil getting punctured. And let's play the screeching sound for you so you can hear if this is on your phones. So there was a flashing light directly across the street. Music. We're gonna hit it again, so you can see that again. One second. Okay, that's one video. You see the lights flashing diagonally across the street, the neighbor. You hear the screeching sounds on his camera, but I've got another one with better screeching sounds. One second. Okay, here it is. Doesn't that sound a little bit like the creepy voice? Just, kind of like a little bit like the creepy voice. And let me get one more here. He sent me all these videos, but I can't open them on my... Okay, so now this is during the day. Now check this out during the day. You see that light there? This is during the day. Okay, well, we're going to end there because I could play these all day long. You guys have sent me some very interesting evidence, that's for sure. So I'm going to end here because I'm up to 37 minutes. But this is what we're going to do. We'll continue this again. But wait a minute, guys. Don't report it to your sheriff's department. They're go along to get along. So they're the ones that are allowing these federal programs, these corrupt people into their communities. And how do I know this? FBI whistleblower, that they call themselves the Suspendables, Stephen Friend, has spoken out about this and wrote a book called True Blue. That it's the sheriff's department that can put an end to this. The sheriff's department does not have to allow these corrupt programs into their community, but they do. But it's a big secret. You know why? It's their very lucrative side hustle. Vigilante, vendetta, vindictive, revenge for hire. The video that I heard the other day, and I don't remember who sent it to me. I apologize. I didn't save it. It basically said that 80%, that was a huge percent, 80% of the people placed on a watch list is because of jealousy. Jealousy. Imagine ruining somebody's life for the rest of their life because some loser, some narcissist, some psychopath is jealous of you. And oh yeah, what happens? Yeah, this is what happens. Corrupt cops, they fake incident reports, they use their citizen informants, their perps. Fake, lie. Oh, and who do they use? They use the Inhuman Terrain Team, Infraguard. They report to those critters. My favorite bureau. The county and neighborhood organized crime networks. They're all complicit, but Carmageddon's on its way every day. The real enemy of the state are... Hint. Oh, and we can't leave these guys out, right? They like to share your information. They share, collaborate, and share. But yet, when you FOIA request them, they tell you, we have no records on you. You mean to tell me that you have no records on me when I have filed complaints with the governor, the attorney general, the FBI, the sheriff's department? You have no files on me? Right. Oh, and yes, you can't leave these guys out. The poopy perts. They like the secret cults. They like to use feces in rituals. Yeah, they like poops. And we can't leave these out. These guys participate too. The cyber stalkers are gamers. They use parody channels to harass, stalk, and embarrass the targeted people. But I am powerful, you are powerful, and we are powerful together, and they are cowards, and that's why we are targeted. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Hope everybody's doing well. And I'm going to sign off for now. Leave a comment down below. Share, share, share. It helps the channel grow. Get the message out there.